Ford Mustang first drive, the most Mustang you can buy that's not a Shelby. When was the last time you heard of a car company making improvements to both manual transmissions and V8 engines? It's probably been a while. Not long ago, performance machines were commonly equipped this way. But today, as car buffs know, V8s and manuals are fighting for survival. A minuscule 3.5% of all cars sold in the US are built with 3 pedals. Similarly, V8 engines have been dropped from many car lines in favor of smaller displacement engines. And existing manual gearboxes and V8s rarely receive any improvements. Things are a little different when it comes to the Ford Mustang. A hefty 30% of all Mustang buyers seek out a standard transmission. Buyers of these machines also crave V8s too. And a full 60% of those Mustang GTs are ordered with a manual. Don't forget about Ford's most potent Mustang, the Shelby GT350. It only comes configured this way. So, when the Mustang team reimaged the legendary ponycar for 2018, they did what few companies do, improve both its V8 and manual gearbox. The new Mustang's 5.0-liter V8 now produces 460 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute and 420 pounds-to-foot of torque at 4,600 revolutions per minute. That's a bump of 25 horsepower and 20 pounds-to-foot of torque. And it comes from increased compression bumped from 11:1 to 12:1, the addition of direct and port fuel injection, spray-bore cylinder liners and larger valves, according to Chief Engineer Carl Widman. And to shed a couple pounds, the team added a composite oil pan. On the inside, the smartest upgrade is the beautiful new 12-inch LCD instrument cluster that changes its display based on driver preference and normal, sport, and track drive modes. To let everyone hear the glorious music coming from that upgraded 5.0-liter, there's new $895 active valve performance exhaust for the Mustang GT. It allows the 4-tip exhaust system provide varying levels of exhaust sound depending on mode and pedal travel from all open and ferocious in track mode down to nearly silent in quiet mode, and settings in between. In fact, you can set the Mustang to start up each morning in quiet mode, so you don't wake the neighbors, and then have the system deliver the full exhaust note after a preset time period. To handle the extra power and torque of the new V8 and to reduce shift effort, the Mustang team re-engineered the 6-speed manual with a new twin-disc clutch, dual-mass flywheel and more closely spaced gears. The ratios are actually less aggressive than those in the old box, but because they are more closely spaced and use new synchronizers, Woodman says it's a smoother experience. Of course, the upgrades to the new Mustang go beyond the top performance model. For the first time, Ford has completely dropped its entry-level V6 engine. Base cars now come exclusively with the 2.3-liter turbocharged EcoBoost 4-cylinder with 310 horsepower and 350 pounds-to-foot of torque. And that's no bad thing. New engine code was written and calibrated with a new control strategy to provide a bump of 30 pounds-to-foot of torque over the old EcoBoost. We have back pressure sensors from the exhaust system that help determine when to spool up the turbo and deliver torque, says Widman. We now use overboosting technology too, something we learned from the Focus RS, so the turbo can run at maximum boost for a longer period of time. Every 2018 Ford Mustang leaves the flat rock assembly plant with monotube dampers and cross-axis joints, bushings with minimal compliance, in the rear suspension. The 6-speed manual used in 4-cylinder models has also been upgraded. But the big transmission news is the addition of an all-new 10-speed automatic, a $1,595 option on all Mustangs. It's a gearbox co-developed and shared with GM. The Mustang team has added a new drag strip mode. And using that program, automatic-equipped 5.0-liter models with the stickiest tires can run to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. That's quick. And Ford says EcoBoost models can hit that mark in under 5 seconds. And that's speedier than a V8-powered Shelby GT was 10 years ago. Both models come with a standard line lock function too, making smoky burnouts a snap. The new drivetrain is backed up by subtle but significant suspension and steering upgrades. All Mustangs now benefit from parts that were until now only bolted to performance package Mustangs. Every 2018 Mustang leaves the flat rock assembly plant with monotube dampers and cross-axis joints, bushings with minimal compliance in the rear suspension. The team also replaced the electronic power steering rack with a new one that has less friction and can support technology like lane keeping assist. The Mustang's capability envelope swells as soon as the performance options are specified. And stepping up to the EcoBoost Performance Package, $2,495, brings a limited slip rear axle, stiffer springs, a strut tower brace, fatter sway bars, 19-inch summer tires, larger brakes and unique tuning for every electronic performance system on the car from the steering to the stability control. The GT's Performance Package, $3,995, has many of the same suspension upgrades but with its own tuning, even wider 19-inch or 20-inch tires, larger Brembo front brakes, a K-brace for added structure and more. And both packages replace many of the bushings in the front suspension with cross-axis joints. Magnaride damping is a step beyond these packages for an extra $1,695. And the system is not unlike the one used in the Shelby GT350. The 2018 Camaro ZL 1.1-liter was built for track days. Specifically, for one recent track day at the Nürburgring where Camaro ride and handling engineer Bill Wise took it around those 73 corners in 7. The Mustang's exterior makeover is relatively mild with a new, more aggressive look up front thanks to a resculpted fascia and a hood that's about an inch lower. In the rear, the taillights and wings are new as is a diffuser. On the inside, the smartest upgrade is the beautiful new 12-inch LCD instrument cluster that changes its display based on driver preference and normal, sport, and track drive modes. Don't fret traditionalists, an analog gauge cluster is still available. The Mustang's cabin is now filled with more soft touch materials, cool bezels for the gauges that match the toggle switches and, thank you, a nice soft driver's side knee pad. The execution. The new Mustang GT is largely the same car as last year but the modifications have made it more refined and potent. Make no mistake, it's still a beast of a muscle.